Welcome to the Boeing 787 battery enclosure overview. The main and APU batteries are contained in an enclosure. The features of the enclosures are the same. In this video, we will focus on the main battery. The main battery is located on the E2 rack in the Forward Equipment Center. The battery enclosure assembly consists of these components: a sealed stainless steel box, a vent tube assembly, a pressure burst disc, a pressure burst disc indicator, and an enclosure access door with O-ring. The battery enclosure is a sealed stainless steel box. The enclosure door with O-ring provides the sealed access point. Once it is sealed, there is not enough oxygen inside the enclosure to support combustion. The vent tube assembly is connected to the battery enclosure and routed to a discharge point through the skin of the airplane. If a battery event occurs, the vent tube discharges the gas through the exhaust port outside the airplane. The pressure burst disc is a frangible disc that provides the seal between the battery enclosure and the vent tube. The pressure burst disc will break if the pressure inside the battery enclosure exceeds 18 psi-G. Once the pressure burst disc breaks, any gases created during a battery event will be discharged outside the plane, preventing the gases from entering the cabin. There are two calibrated orifices adjacent to the pressure burst disc. Their function is to balance the pressure inside the enclosure during airplane climbs and descents. The pressure burst disc indicator allows for visual inspection to identify or verify that a battery event has occurred. It is mounted on the airplane structure adjacent to the battery enclosure. If a battery event occurs, a red button on the pressure burst disc indicator will extend. It takes a pressure difference of 3 psi between the inside and outside of the enclosure to cause the button to extend. There are new AMM procedures for removing the battery if the pressure burst disc indicator is extended. To access the battery and pressure burst disc, disconnect the enclosure door connector and remove the enclosure door hardware. Open the door and disconnect the battery connector from the battery. To remove the battery, disconnect the battery monitor cable and loosen the two fasteners on the battery rails. Once the battery rail fasteners are loose, pull the battery tray out. Remove the 6 fasteners from the battery and lift the battery off the tray. There are several new AMM procedures regarding the batteries and enclosures. For the main battery, they are main battery task selection, main battery removal and installation with or without pressure burst disc indication, main battery pressure burst disc removal and installation, main battery pressure burst disc indicator removal, installation, functional test, and visual check, main battery vent tube assembly, operational test, and general visual inspection, main battery enclosure door removal, installation, and O-ring detailed inspection. There are 2 new ICAS advisory messages that indicate a battery event. They are main battery and APU battery. They will be displayed on the ICAS display if associated malfunctions occur. So to summarize, we learned about the new battery enclosure and its components, the new ICAS advisory messages, and new AMM tasks. Please consult your system description section and AMM procedures for more information.